we've replaced Amber with Ed Wolfe from WG Products. I'm Joe LaRocca. We're here in New York at the National Retail Federation's Big Show. And today we're talking to a number of service providers about the cutting edge technology, the new things that are coming out in the industry. And we're also spending time talking with a number of retailers and a representative from the New York Police Department about organized retail crime, cybersecurity, fraud, and some of the latest technologies that are being deployed. You just heard from Carl Langhorst, who was talking about the overall organizational structure, the things that are going on. Then Chad McIntosh and Reed Hayes talking about the LPRC and some of the research being done out of the University of Florida. But right now I'd like to introduce my guest co-host, Ed Wolfe with WG. And Ed, offline, you and I were talking about the show here and some of the work that you've been doing on the expo floor, but also back at home in the regular day-to-day business. What are some of the priorities of WG, and what's on your radar these days?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. First of all, I want to make sure that we are not replacing Amber. I mean,
okay, thank you.
Those are too big of shoes to fill. Those are too big of shoes to fill. WG really is in a unique position in the industry because what we do is we listen to our customer and determine what their problems are, and we look to have a solution for the problems. Years ago, they came to us and wanted to challenge the traditional service model, and call up, systems down, some problem with it, send a guy out. And so we got to starting designing a Wi-Fi system, and now we have we install almost exclusively Wi-Fi systems. A good example of how we do that is we do it with a hotspot. We're not asking the retailer to put us on their Wi-Fi system, right, as exhibited by what happened at Target last year, but we send a hotspot to the store, and in the case of a London-based customer, they had a problem with their system because another company was installing the system just a couple doors away that interrupted their service. So we went and we had a hotspot in the store, and we tuned her system from Campbell, California, all the way into London. And so, we literally solved a service problem in an hour and a half, or as opposed to what might have been days, because you have to call, make an appointment, and get somebody out there. So that's the thing of the future for us, is to do that sort of thing. And it all came about because customers, we perceived the fact that customers wanted it changed.
Right. And I think that's so important that companies move so fast to innovate and create new products that they lose focus sometimes of we have to service our customers, we have to be there for the installation, but then also the ongoing maintenance. But I know that WG, in addition to focusing on the customer service, you've also been an innovator in new technology. And you just talked about the Wi-Fi, and while that's not uncommon for some retailers, others would see that as a potential solution because everybody talks about how do we get stuff approved through IT, or how do we push stuff through the pipe. So in your case, you're installing a hotspot solution. What other things can you do on that hotspot? What are the retailers asking you with that hotspot?
Well, actually, it's new to all of them, and so we're, the key thing is we have a number of ideas what we can do, but it's really the retailer that, by having some discussion and helping them become aware of it, helping them be comfortable, because Wi-Fi is not a very good subject in a retail store right now. So, and I think that'll change. It'll change. People will become more comfortable. People will start to have Wi-Fi systems that aren't related to point of sale, and therefore, without harm to the store. But they're not there yet. So we compensated with a hotspot environment. We have there's a number of other things we've done. One of our other customers has, in the early 2000s, when the tag revolution kind of exploded, you walk into a lot of our customers and they've got 15 different types of tags.
Right.
And it's because they bought them for them being unique, or they bought them because they were cheap, or they bought them for some reason, but right, they still have 15 different types of tags. Right. You look at point of sale registers today and they have 1 or 2 or 3 detachers. So what we did is we designed a detacher that is a universal detacher that'll take anything off. And as a result, I just took it to a very large customer, actually the largest retailer in the world, and they're testing it in some of their stores, and they believe that it enhances their customer experience. So, you know, it was born out of the fact that a customer wanted us to develop it.
Right.
We went ahead and developed it, and we just continue to do that same sort of thing.
So the new innovation, as you've said, opens up so many possibilities and so many doors. I want to get your feedback on one of the things. I was looking at the show yesterday. There's really two things. One is beacons or iBeacon technology, where you're pushing information to a customer,
right,
guiding them down a pathway. And the other is mobile proximity detection. So phones coming inside stores either through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or Blu-Fi, both of them, and looking for repeat visits or doing some analytics around all of that. Where do you see WG going? Where do you see the industry heading? Are those two big topics that you see for the industry? Do you think they're just fads like others?
No, I don't think they're fads at all. I think the fact is that when I was at Bloomingdale's in 2002, we were looking at it. We were talking about it in the executive committee. But what has stalled that thought process is the whole identity, the whole privacy protection.
Yeah.
I mean, what it horrifies, some husband is that where his wife is and what she's doing and how she's doing it,
Right.
but she hasn't even made a purchase yet.
Right.
And you're reminding her what you bought last time when she may have forgotten. So the bottom line is that I think there she is.
Oh no, we're photobombed. It's Amber. Hello. Okay.
I'm not even in. I don't
Somebody's
have a
gonna
mic.
snap this, and it's gonna be a photo on Twitter. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, now we have a for real.
Quickly.
Yeah.
This is not a
It's live.
We're live.
This is not a wedding. You can't stand here forever.
We're like the bride and groom.
Okay. Yeah, I was totally. I'm
Yeah.
totally photobombing, but now I'm out. I'm out.
Okay. There goes Amber.
There she is.
I said you were replaced, but
I heard.
I corrected him.
but he corrected me.
Good,
So
good.
I'm going on the hot seat again.
I want to set it straight. Anyway, to get back to what were we talking about? Oh, I know it was about the big issue, and I don't know where it's going to end, because we ended up having a number of processes like that. If you remember back in late 1990s, 1998 actually, we were going to be able to take the photo of a person with a credit card returning an item.
Right.
And the privacy people just went nuts.
Yeah.
So I think privacy is a big issue. I do think it will broach that, and but I do think the Wi-Fi hacking has probably harmed that,
Right.
because now you can't really say with certainty whether it's protected.
Right.
So-
Yeah. No, completely agree. So we're getting the wrap-up sign right now. Ed, I want to thank you for co-moderating for a few minutes and your insight about the industry.